Well, good morning guys. So this morning I'm kind of at the bench faffing around and not really achieving anything. I'm working a bit on the 40 Ford. I've done a bit of a modification to the roof that is similar to what is on the inspiration car, the Lawnstern 40. And I was a bit hesitant to do it because I wasn't sure how I was going to achieve the glass, but at the moment I've cut that out and I'm making a bit of a book so I can vacuum form a new piece of glass for the front and try and get it to fit. But I'm going to do a full video on that, what I've been doing. I've been also faffing about with this and doing a bit of moulding. This is just going to be an out of the box build, but I am sat just thumbing through a magazine and I just thought I'd go through it with you guys. This is a great little book. It's let's just move this up a little bit. It's Custom Model Cars by George Barris. I'm not sure what year it is because it has seen better days because I've thumbed through this a lot. Doesn't have a date on it. Oh, 1961. Yeah, it's very, very damaged. But I think we'll just go through it page by page because it is really, really cool. I don't know if you can see it there. Let's try and get this down a little bit more. So you've got on the cover a couple of models. It's obviously the double T kit that's on there, the chopped one. So that kind of dates that model as well, really. That was obviously quite new at the time. I suppose this is going to be a 60, I want to say a 61. Well, actually, it might not be a 61 because 61 didn't have an opening bonnet. So this might be a fairly new model. It might be the 62, not sure. But it's kind of cool. On the inside cover, you have what looks to be the 32 sedan. And then this one. This one's another one. I've started a tribute to this one, which I'll show you one day. And we might kind of do the build on the channel. But yeah, like the 40 Ford, the Lawnstern 40 Ford, I'm kind of really quite obsessed with this one. But you've got the intro cover, you've got Mr. Barris himself, and then some display models. Some very, very cool. It's an SMP 58 Ford. I've no idea what that started as. But these magazines are so incredibly inspirational to what the kind of thing that I do. It's just the golden era of model building. I mean, I didn't realise they actually did a 55 Chevy Cameo back in 61. I've never seen one before unless it was a promo. And then you've got this 60 El Camino. That's obviously a one of the early AMT ones. Because I think the 60 came out before the 59. A couple of Hubleys. I'd love to get my hands on one of these. The Hubley 60 Ford wagon. And then, as you can see, the stuff is just so cool. It's you got 40 Ford here, done in the early 60s style custom. 60 Ford, I think that's a Sunliner. Sorry, I moved that over a bit. That's a Sunliner. I did pick one of them up in the States earlier on this year. That's in the stash box to do. Yeah, 58 Ford convertible. And then you got another 60 Ford. That's really cool actually. I really like some of these bobbed rear ends. I might have to try and do something like that. And got another one of those 55 Cameo pickups. I'd love to find out what that was, whether it was a promo or what. It's really kind of cool. And then this is one of my favourite full-time trucks. It's the Tiago Ranchero. Again, bob rear end, chopped, fully sculptured. And then you've got the 60 Ford pickup there. That'll be an original issue one. Looks like it's got a Lincoln rear end. What have we got here? 60 Buick. These are some some of these models now are incredibly rare. And another combination pickup. I think that this 60 Apache, they came with the trailer. So I believe this might be the same kit as what mine was. And then you've got another 40 Ford, couple more 40 Fords with the fully moulded. Valiant Imperial. Is it an Imperial? But people were just so creative back then. Is it 60 Ford? Is it 60 Ford Thunderbird? No, it looks like Starliner, doesn't it, with them fins? Again, that looks fairly box stock. That looks like the cover car actually. Well, that's definitely 61. And then you get into, that's a 59 Pontiac. I had one of them and I sold it. Oh, I gave it away, one of the two, to a friend of mine, Gary Knight, and he's just about finished it actually. He's made a really nice job. Now this is one I'd like to get hold of, a 61 Buick. I'd love to get my hands on one of them. Such a lovely car. So much you can do with it. And then you get into hot rods. Some of these hot rod ones, I'm more into the custom kind of stuff. But some of these hot rod models on here, yeah, are a little bit weird. Well, these ones are kind of cool. That is a proper T-bucket hot rod. These are very cool. I mean, I don't get into hot rods because they're very fiddly, and I don't do fiddly stuff. But yeah, if you have a look at some of these, like this one, like a Roman chariot, that's just bonkers, but bonkersly cool. And some of the drag stuff. I mean, these will be I think this one, a lot of these you can now get from Atlantis Models as the parts packs. A lot of the stuff that you can just get hold of it again now. They're reissuing it. We're getting into sort of displays now. Everything looks better on some sort of display rather than just being plonked on a table. Like this guy here, he's got himself a little display to put his models on, and it makes it look like a car show, and it's just very cool. It's like, I think when you take your models to a show, just put them on something and make it look a little bit more. Just give it a bit of life, really. I mean, that's the Ed Roth Outlaw, or Excalibur that it was called before it was renamed, and that was built before the Revell kit. So that's very cool. And then I do believe this is, yeah, you got 61 Ford Sunliner there. which is quite weird because the 61 model kits had closed bonnets. It's just like how to customize these models very, very simply with simple tools, chopping. It's really good. I mean, these kits are so hard to get hold of now. I mean, however, that's the 40 sedan, that's been repopped so many times. Currently available thing, I think, and pretty much unchanged from when it was first issued. But some of these, like the Johan stuff, which one's that one? 61 Plymouth Fury. That is uber rare now. I'd love to get my hands on one and cut one up. And then again, that 60 Ford wagon, the Hubley one. Love to get that. Even some like wooden models here made out of balsa. This would be cool. I mean, not Studebaker chat. I wish somebody would do something like that. Studebaker pickups and stuff. Studebakers are not represented enough in the model industry. And I think if somebody did a decent one, say Studebaker pickup, they would sell thousands of them. Absolutely thousands of them. The Black Widow, that's been recently reissued. There's the 25T dual kit. One of the Strombecker. Never had one of them kits. But yeah, there's some very, very interesting stuff in these magazines. That's one. This is one I'd love to get my hands on. Is the Revell 57 Ranchero, but the unchopped one. Now, Revell have done their new range of 57 Fords. They've done the sedans and the wagons and stuff like that. Why have they not done a decent Ranchero, 57 Ranchero? It's beyond me. Now, if I was to build a real car, full-size car, and money was no object, I would build a 57 Ranchero. It's my absolute dream truck. Absolute dream. So, then you got the Green Hornet. Dave Shooton at Galpin has built a full-size replica of that, and I've seen it at Galpin. It is incredible. As I say, this magazine has seen better days. You got 60 El Camino there. Lots of wild modifications done to it. It's very, very cool. Okay, guys. Well, thank you. I think I hope you enjoyed that. But this is one of my prized possessions in my collection. Really, really cool little thing. And I have got a bit of a collection of old vintage, early 1960s Carcraft magazines from when the actual real custom cars were first introduced. So if you'd like me to go through some of these magazines at some point, let me know, and I will do. All right, guys. Thank you.